Hey, my name is Keith Hurt. I'm the team captain here at Laidlaw Harley-Davidson, building the 2019 Battle of the Kings FX GTS Coast Glide. And I just want to talk a little bit about the process. We all collaborated. Matt Laidlaw, Jamie Myers, Steve Garcia, and Isaiah and myself came together with some ideas, and we all had our own input and ideas about what we wanted the bike to be. And we ended up with this beautiful machine here. For me, I was really excited about using as many Harley-Davidson parts as possible, creatively using them to make a bike that we felt maybe Harley could have built, or a model that was missing in the line. And I was really stuck on this bike, thinking that it belonged with a dual disc front end. So I took that kind of under task and worked out with Jamie how to get the touring wheel on here with a dual disc front end and keep the inverted fork. So we had a lot of modifications and a lot of fabrication. We had a lot of fabrication time. A lot of effort went into making all those pieces fit and work together. We're really happy the way it turned out. We're happy about everything about the bike. It turned out awesome, from the Harley-Davidson Dominion collection that we had custom powder coated some of the pieces, some of the highlights, to the Kraus bars, to the paint job from Aggressive Designs, and customized stereo system. We're really excited and proud about the way this project turned out.
Yeah, Jamie Myers here, Laidlaw Harley-Davidson. Part of this project here, it may look like a simple build, but there's actually a lot more that goes into it than you would think. One of the main key points that we had to deal with was the front end and getting the touring front wheel onto this front end, with our fender mounts and all that good stuff. So what we did is we had to actually machine the lower fork lugs or the axle mounts up to get our proper spacing. We didn't want to use a bunch of shims and spacers. We wanted something that looked more production and like it should be. So we took the time to mill the parts down properly. Same thing with the brake calipers. There were spacing issues, but instead of using shims and all that good stuff, we took the time to properly mill everything down to get everything in spec like it should be, as if it was a production piece. That's one of the bigger things we had to deal with. The front fender and the way it's mounted. There was some cutting and grinding and all kinds of good stuff. It's minor fabrication, nothing crazy. But moving along to the front fairing, Russ Warnemont fairing. It's not exactly made for this model as of yet, but it is something that you can fit. Obviously, he makes the main bracket and everything that works. As it comes out of the mold, you'll find with the front end on these bikes, they tend to be a little bit wider, so to get your steering radius and proper clearance for everything to work. There's quite a bit of grinding and fitment on the actual fairing to get everything to cycle properly, and just mechanically everything to function like it should. We got the stereo system and all that, all the stuff that we had to cut into the fairing, and of course wire it all up. We had of course, the best painter on earth that we think is Seth at Aggressive Design. Obviously knocked it out of the park with his paint job, just amazing. So for our handlebar setup, we went with the Kraus riser setup, which is just super clean, quality part. We've used them on other builds, and we're just real happy with their stuff. We love the aluminum moto style handlebars. You know, they look really good and they feel awesome. That's the thing, is the feel of this thing. It gives you that nice, comfortable, aggressive feel. You know, from there, of course, you know, you're going to do internal wiring and all that good stuff. You know, then we did the Vance & Hines exhaust system. Is great fitment. We did have to take a little extra caution running the Dominion collection on this for the transmission side cover. You want to make sure it's spaced out. Your heat shield clamps don't touch the side cover. You know, just little stuff like that. So it's not as easy as just throwing these products on. You know, everything you put on is going to change one or two other things, and you just have to be aware of all your fitment issues and stay ahead of that, so that in the end everything fits properly and there's no areas where it's rubbing or doing damage to any other parts just because of the fitment and the modifications that we've made on top of each other. I had a lot of help on this project. We needed this help and the collaboration of our whole team to make this thing come out like it did. We're extremely excited about this, and we think that we have a great chance at getting into the final runnings of this competition.
I'm Isaiah, and I was pretty happy to help with this custom build. A great way to start my career as a motorcycle technician. I will be going to MMI in August, so this is like a good way, something that really helped me and understand bikes more, and now I have a little bit of experience like under my belt. I got into with dirt bikes, and so I started off with motocross, and eventually I knew what I wanted to do as a career and become a motorcycle technician. So now I'm here with Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson, and they invited me to help them work on this custom bike that they're working on. And I'm just glad that Harley contacted me and asked me to help them with this build.
What's up guys, Steve Garcia from Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. Talking about Battle of the Kings 2019 bike build off. We got the Coast Glide. My job here was kind of overshadow everybody and help out with my technical background. Helped out with disassembly and assembly, overshadow Jamie, Keith, and a lot of the guys that put in on this build. My job was in charge of the cutting of the fairing, cutting to fit the speakers that we put on the fairing. Helping out with the design of the bike, the colors, what grips, what theme of paint job we should go with. Pick the bar setup, that was kind of my job, you can say. Overshadowing, picking the parts, seeing what works, where we can add more detail, where it lacks detail. Being a technician, I have a lot of experience in this field, customizing. The fairing took a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of time, you can say. Pretty scary, you know, having to be heavily involved into such a big build like this, taking the risk and just doing it, you know, but being confident. As you can see, Jamie's spoken a lot. He's put a lot of time into this front end, and being a part of it, taking something that no one said can work and doing it is awesome, and seeing it come alive, there's just no better feeling to be a part of it. Vance & Hines, you know, their exhaust, it bolted on and it worked great. Added a little flavor to it with the orange powder coat and it popped. The California logo that Keith mentioned, it kind of goes with the theme of the bike. As you can see, you can't see it from this view, but I'm sure Matt will focus more on it in the video. I mean, it's awesome, it just screams California. You see this bike and it's Cali, you think Cali. We ride hard here, we take risks. I mean, highlighter wheels, it's Cali, you know? It came out awesome. I mean, there's not much more I can say. The bike speaks for itself. You know, we got a pretty good chance, and if we don't, I mean, oh well, the bike's sick.
Hey, what's up guys? Matt Laidlaw here from Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. So we're pretty excited to show off our Battle of the Kings build. And we started with the Sport Glide, we ended with the Coast Glide, FX GTS. I kind of helped out with the design portion of the bike in a way, and kind of some of the main parts of the bike We all kind of collaborated, but I'm just really happy to have such a good build team and such an awesome service department to actually execute and make this build happen. So really what we wanted to do is build a bike that kind of embodied the culture in Southern California and just kind of the growing popularity of just kind of the purpose-built, clubbed out, for lack of a better word, Dyna / 2018 plus Softail world. And so I really feel like, with the Russ Wernemont fairing and kind of giving that old school FXRT fairing look with the 2-in-1 exhaust, the square body seats, inverted front end, dual disc brakes, this is exactly what we feel like here at Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson. We feel like it's kind of a missing bike in Harley-Davidson's lineup. And so that's kind of what our goal was, is to build a bike that we feel like if Harley rolled it off the production line tomorrow, it would sell really, really well, especially here in Southern California and really in all the way up the West Coast. So that was kind of our main goal, was to build a bike that was going to be very influenced by the West Coast culture in the Harley-Davidson world right now. And so that was kind of the main theme and inspiration for the build. And it was just really cool to see, Jamie, Keith, and everybody in the service department, come together, and everybody kind of contributed in their own way. From Steve to Isaiah, everybody really just had they owned a certain part of the bike, and they just ran with it, and everything kind of came together. It's just amazing to have something on a piece of paper, and to think about something and plan something, and to see it come out better than you expected to. That's kind of where we are with this build. Things don't always work out the way you plan them. This bike actually worked out better than we had planned it. So it's just really cool to see everything come together so perfectly for us. So hope you guys enjoy the build, and make sure you vote for us as well. Thanks a lot, guys.
Please join us on April 20th at Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson for the Coast Glide's big reveal party, where we'll be showing off the bike in its entirety to the public for the first time. Vote for us at harleydavidson.com.